There's got to be a better way to read a map. Carlo Babic lowered his map and squinted up at the street sign, barely visible. Someone had knocked out the street light or shot it out. In this neighborhood, there's no telling. The sun was about to set, but nobody in this part of Gotham City ever laid eyes on it after 3 anyway. Gotham sun has faded, and 6 months after the Joker fell, something far worse than his grin is rising from the ashes. This is Batman Resurrection. I'm Zan. Konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? And welcome to another Spiraken book club where we talk about various awesome books. And this is our 17th entry in Project 45 by 45. 17, can you believe it? We're moving right along. And let's actually get to this because this is one which is a little bit different. This one is a intellectual property that already released. It is an adaptation, just like we did last, uh, well, a couple of episodes ago when we talked about Cyberpunk 2077. This is another book series set in another world, but this one, more importantly, is set between two films in a franchise. And what franchise am I talking about? Of course, I'm talking about Batman. This is Batman Resurrection by John Jackson Miller. Came out in 2024, and it is the story that's taking place between Batman 1989, starring Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, and Kim Basinger, and Batman Returns, which starred Keaton, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Danny DeVito. And this is Gotham after the Joker's fallen. It is the aftermath. Batman is still active. There are several people who are still involved. There is an industrialist named Max Schreck who's slowly getting involved. More importantly, there are still rumors that the Joker still exists. And the fallout from his cavalcade of horror pretty much made things interesting. You have tons of people who are affected by Smilex who are in hospitals. And you have a doctor who needs help to fix them, a Dr. Hugo Oslinger. And then, of course, there is an actor. Uh, as we said earlier, his name is Bassick, uh, Carlo Bassick. Or, well, if you know your comic history, you know exactly who that is. And this is set in the world in a way where you have all these characters, and it is set describing the characters as they are in the film. So this is going to be Michael Keaton as Batman. This is Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale. You have, whenever there are references to the Joker, it's going to be Jack Nicholson's Joker. When it's Commissioner Gordon, it is Pat Ginnan's. I believe it's Ginnan's. Commissioner Gordon. Alfred is the Alfred from the Batman films from the 80s and 90s. So you're connected to that world, and it is engaging. It is intriguing. It is so set for you. You know this world. And what they do different is very unique. The introduction of the two villains of this piece, well, technically three, but two villains, is masterful. We build it up. It gives a reason for why this character is set like that. And it's done in a very creative way. Could this have been filmed back in the day? No, not at all. It would not have been able to be made without CG. I mean, if you did it with practical effects, it would be brilliant, but that's not really the case here. And it is a fun Elseworld. Now, for those who aren't familiar with the term Elseworld, that's DC's versions of What If. An Elseworld is an alternate timeline where this happened instead of that. This Batman Resurrection is the first of three adaptations. There's Batman Resurrection, Batman Revolution, and then Batman 89, which split into Silence and Echo. And that is in this world, which is in the Tim Burton verse, or technically it's Earth 89. Kind of clever to do that. However, I digress. And it's set in this world. It's unique. It's inventive. It's been done before, but unfortunately, it reads like a fanfic. It really reads like a fanfic. It's well written. Don't get me wrong. This author, he is a good author. He's written tons of different adaptations of things from Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Star Wars. It feels like a fanfic. It's not like Star Wars Legends where you're set in it and you're good to go. This feels like a fanfic, which isn't a bad thing. I'm a huge fan of fanfics. I've been reading them since the early late 90s. and they're really cool. And there are some really cool elements in it. There's a lot which feels kind of bad though. And what do I mean by bad? Well, descriptions of technology that are over complacent. They're not over complacent, it's overcomplicated. There's a device called the Roost that's introduced that we kind of understand what's going on, but it feels bizarre and just it's over explained. It's like, oh well, it does this and this is like we don't need technobabble. This isn't a Michael Crichton book. This is a Batman book. You say he has a device that does this, we'll believe you. You didn't have to go that far in it. Also, the description of Smilex's chemistry, interesting, well done. We could do better. Things like that. Also, a lot of stories focus on the villain and it goes really well where the villain's the main character. This is a Batman story, and Batman feels like he's not in it as much as you expect. It's a lot of Bruce Wayne stuff, which I get. It's Bruce Wayne trying to establish himself as Bruce Wayne, especially because after he wants to retire, he doesn't want to retire, but he thinks he should retire. There's the back and forth with Alfred, but it's more Bruce Wayne than Batman, which is fine, but just feels lost. I'm not gonna say anymore because you should. If you want to read this, you're gonna like it. It is a cool setting in the world. It sets up some things which were established in the Joel Schumacher films, but this is saying those don't exist. This is this world. Here's what's going to happen. It sets up references to Batman Begins, sets references to some other unique elements, and it kind of character assassinates slash redoes a very prominent member of the Bat family, where it's like, oh, we just made a new guy, and you have tons of reference material. There are tons of things you could do. You didn't need to do that. You could have made it more. Anyway, I get it. I know where it goes. I understand. I could go further into this, but let's be honest. It's a Batman story. It's Batman versus the villains. He's trying to figure out things, and he fights the bad guys. It's Batman, and we know Batman wins because this is between returns and then we do find out what happened with Vicky Vale. That part is kind of fascinating. Also, we get more Alexander Knox. He's the reporter who's the guy from Arliss. It's okay. So, what can I say about this? Well, let's just get to my rating on it. Well, it's giving me Crazy 8 Miro. It's okay, but forgettable. It's a very exciting Elseworld that's enjoyable, but it's trapped in the body of an official novel, and Batman's name's on the cover, but the villains steal the spotlight, which is fine, but you really want to have an even amount. You really do. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a huge fan of IP stories. I love things like Star Wars. I love the Star Wars Legend series. I like things where they do differently. Like I said, I love fanfics. This one just, it was okay. It wasn't great. When I'm liking the Batman and Robin novel from the 90s better than this, there's a. But again, that's a little different because I'm able to actually impose the voice from BTOS for Victor Freeze as opposed to Arnold. And that makes it a little bit more understanding. This one, it's just, they set everybody up. I will say, one thing I really did like about this, though, before I forget, is I love that Lawrence is a major part of this story. Now, for those who aren't aware, Lawrence the Moonbox, he's the bald guy who, when in Batman '89, when he walks into the museum, he says, "Lawrence, music," and he's the guy who plays the music for the party lines, which is one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. But he's a main character in this because Bob is dead, as you know, in the Batman movie, and it's kind of cool to see Lawrence gets stepped up. And also, if I ever lose my hair, which I still have hair, I'm still good. But if it ever all goes, I'm going to cosplay as Lawrence, take a mustache, do the whole thing. But I digress. So with that in mind, let's actually get to the next book, which is book number 18 in our list. And I was kind of flip-flopping between a nonfiction and a fiction, going back and forth. And I decided to stick with fiction for now. We're going to be doing The Whisper Man by Alex North. So if you like horror, you're going to like this. Let me know your thoughts. Also, if you are watching on YouTube, as always, remember to like, share, subscribe, click on that bell for notification for when we release new episodes. And I want to thank each and every one of you for checking out this show. Every email I get, every new subscriber, every new comment, it gives me more motivation to keep doing this because I love talking about books, manga, TV shows, and things. I want to keep doing this to an old man with thick glasses and having to read large print books. So thank you so much. I love doing this. You guys make it worth it. And I'm trying to hit 500 listeners this year, or 500 subscribers. So let's see what happens. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. As usual, I'm your host, Zan. I'm Gonzville. I'll catch you guys next time. And as always, keep reading books. I'll see you later.